Okay, hi, I am live. I'm not anticipating that anyone comes in for this. I'm not really looking to talk to anybody. I just realized I've really neglected my YouTube channel. Besides filming vlogs and my writing, excuse me, I've just not had the spoons in me to make YouTube videos. So I guess I just wanted to explain like the where I've been. I think I've made a where I've been video before. But essentially it's just been really hard for me working and tending to things I need to in my life and then considering my YouTube channel. So I met with my big boss at my job. For those of you who don't know, I am a pre-licensed therapist. I'm trying to get all my hours for my license and I work remote in this office right here. Um, I officially open my schedule 8:30 to 3:30. Now, I'm very lucky. There are a lot of therapists who work, long hours or work Monday through Thursday and work evenings and stuff like that. And again, I feel like I'm just sitting here masking because I've been thinking about that a lot too. And I'm going to kind of just be going on a tangent and talking, uploading this, and moving on with my day. But I just needed to talk at someone. So I figured, why not on my YouTube channel where I haven't posted in a long time? Don't have it in me to film or edit a video. So bleh, this is just going up. But I was just talking my Instagram story to you about like one of the things that I do for masking. And okay, so first of all, masking, from what I know, is only used in the autistic community. They really don't like when other people use it to say that they're trying to blend in at work and they're neurotypical and that's normal. And I get that. I do think this has to do with autism, and I am not officially diagnosed. I consider myself self-diagnosis. I've looked into it so much. It makes sense. The more I talk to my mom about it, she's like, yeah, there were people throughout the years that said that, doctors, coworkers. And I'm like, okay. But one of the things for me that I hate, is perspective taking. When it's like about me, when it's about me as a person, like say I see something bad about myself and like a therapist or someone wants to correct that, like that's different. Like I can work on that internal experience. But when it comes to social stuff, it really bothers me. It really, really bothers me. So this is a problem for me at work because when I'm in supervision, I exhaust myself because I sit there and I'm like, okay, I have to say what everyone expects me to say so that no one thinks that I'm like, not to use stigmatizing terms, but like antisocial, which isn't even the right term for it, that I have no empathy for other people. I feel like I have to perspective take. And before I just simply say how I feel about something, I have to cushion it first. It's exhausting. It is so exhausting to do that all the time in my life. I am getting really sick of it. And I'm noticing that I'm doing it because I started doing it on here. And that's why I'm talking about it and catching myself. So one thing that I noticed was like on my Instagram story, I was kind of talking about cancellations or people have trouble getting to appointments. And in my head, all I can picture is people coming in like, oh my God, do you know how hard it is for people? And like, they need to come to their appointments. Like, come on. Like, some people have a hard time and have disabilities. I heard the whole other side of someone just coming at me because I've been chronically invalidated my whole life. Every time I've spoken up about something that's bothered me, I've been told that's not allowed to bother you. You're selfish. And that dialogue just runs rampant in my head. But the truth is, for us clinicians, some people are very spontaneous. They're like, oh, yay, some free time. I'm going to go do something. That's the thing with autism. Like, I live by my routine. I need it. And I completely shut down when I don't have it. It's really hard for me to have a plan B or something else to do and like go with the flow. So having, no show and cancellations, it's not about the client. I'm not upset with them. Like, I'm upset more so with like that I have a hard time handling it and that I can't just say that. I have to cushion it and say, oh, I know people have a hard time. Here's all these explanations of why people miss appointments, or maybe it's so tiring. I'm so tired even like beating around the bush, like having to explain things in this way when I'm using social media. Like, I'm really exhausted by it. And I do it in my own therapy sessions with my therapist because I've had so many therapists perspective take about social situations, because if I just say something like, I'm so mad my friend blew me off, they immediately have to come in with their perspective taking of like, well, maybe your friend is sick, maybe your friend had a hard time, like have some compassion for people. And I hate that. I'm pretty irritable today, if you couldn't notice, but I hate that because I am aware. I'm completely aware. And it actually makes me feel 1,000 times worse when someone does that. Like, I'm just trying not to mask. I'm trying to just say, hi, here's my emotion about this. This bothers me. I am being vulnerable and brave and sharing this. But if I don't cushion it with all the extra perspective taking, I'm just going to get that back from someone and get triggered wherever I am in whatever environment I'm in. Now, I don't mind it as much when I'm like in my role, when I'm like with a client and like I need to present a certain way, like for them, like I guess, like, and it depends on the client too, like that's different. But it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating to have to do that all the time. And then even sometimes when I do it, to still get the perspective taken back and be like, oh my God, I said the script, I said exactly what you needed me to say. And it's getting frustrating. So for where I've been, I have been back in weekly therapy, and it's been helpful. I feel like my last session, it's hard when you're a clinician because you want so much out of it, but clinicians I'm doing it again. I notice it. I see, like, because people expect me to say that, and I don't want people to invalidate me in the comments section. Oh my gosh. So see, I needed to talk this through and realize that this is one of the masking things I do, and I don't know how to work through it because I know that what I'm doing keeps me safe and reduces the chance of having conflict in any environment or being triggered for myself in any environment. Wow, can I just say, like, I really was unhappy with my therapy session. I would like more out of therapy, and I deserve that. Wow, I totally deserve to say that. This is so frustrating to me how hard it is for me to deal with all of this kind of stuff. But really, it's just like, I don't truly work 8:30 to 3:30. I get cancellation sometimes. I also don't have my afternoons completely settled yet. But it's like, by the time I'm done with work, I just want to rest or read library books, like do my self-care so I can be the best version of myself for my clients and like be attentive to them and also do my self-care. I also really have been focusing on my relationship, and trying to be around for Dave and everything like that. And of course, I don't need to drag any of his personal stuff here, but definitely for, all the perspective taking you have to do just to blend in a social environment, you can imagine that any sort of relationship is exhausting for me. And another thing I've been toying with is, I don't think I have BPD. Maybe I did. Like, I feel like last year I qualified for the diagnosis more, especially with my eating disorder. But I feel like I'm like better about this. Like, I feel like the autism thing really solidified it, and non-binary, like understanding my gender identity and that I am neurodivergent, like truly, and it's more than just like mental health. Like, I have a actual neurological condition. And again, I have imposter syndrome about it, but it just makes everything else make sense. Like, oh, this is why social stuff is like so hard for me. And when I was reading a memoir yesterday about people with BPD and their recovery, and I related to some of it, like I relate to the extreme emotion piece, like I feel tons of emotions even right now, and definitely the difficulties with relationships and the anger issues and like those kind of things. I'm not someone who really has a lot of impulsive behaviors anymore. The only one I really had was my ED. I don't have a big history of any sort of risk-like behaviors. And it's just not a really common thing in my history. I don't know. I guess I'm really lucky for that. But I feel like the core of BPD, it's different than PTSD, where like people might not feel good about themselves, like have self-esteem difficulties, but they know who they are. They just don't like who they are. I feel like I know who I am now, and like discovering my gender identity, discovering that I'm autistic has like really helped me along the way of like understanding those pieces about who I actually am. And I've been like, oh, and a lot of AFAB people are misdiagnosed with BPD when they're autistic. So there you go. But I just don't want to pay all the money for the testing and take the time, and also just get told like, oh, you just have PTSD, because I don't think so. I know people with PTSD, they leave their house, they have friends. Like, I'm not doing that stuff. Delta's freaking me out too. So I just feel like really, really drained. And I'm not really inspired to make videos anymore because they just don't do well. And I'm never going to make a career out of this. It's not like I did this to make a career out of it. I guess like in the back of my mind, I hoped like one day something would come of it. And I'm not like giving up on my YouTube channel by any means. If I feel inspired, like I'll make a video. But like Let's Get Clinical got really draining. And especially once I realized like, oh gosh, this purple book, the DSM-5 is horrible and is pathologizing people constantly. And I want to move away from the pathologization of my clients. It made me want to like unlearn some of that, like reading what depression is from this versus like the lived experience of my clients or myself. Like, I just feel like lived experience is a lot more valuable in my field. And definitely I'm a clinician who honors self-diagnosis, which, I thought about making a video about that, but I don't have the spoons. I really don't. By the time it's the weekend, I go to Dave's for a little bit. By the time I come home, all I want to do is rest. I just want to eat, rest, sleep, maybe go for a walk. Like, I'm really just trying to take care of myself, and it's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to even come in this live and see people like come in and out, but I'm not here to chat. I was just here to film like a live video and put it on my feed. But thank you if you've come in and even watched for a minute. I do appreciate it. But I am just feeling pretty out of sorts. So I think that just this video is where I've been in therapy in couples counseling, and I've realized I'm autistic and definitely more confident in my non-binary identity. And I think that's why I was having so many problems with my ED. Oh, my friend Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. I'm not doing a live where I'm like talking. I'm just like filming a video. So, but anyways, yeah. So I just wanted to sit down and like get all this out because my brain was jumbled this morning due to shifts in routine, and that was frustrating and really hard for me to deal with. And I think I'm trying to figure out, in order to affirm my true identity, I have to start unmasking, and I have to only do it where I feel safe to do it. And that's hard because I feel like I'm safe at home to like be who I really am. I can say to my mom, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. And she's like, I get it. Like, I don't have to cushion it. I don't have to say but I feel like I have to say all those things to other people because they're going to come in with their, yeah, but, and they're going to perspective take. And it's so annoying. And I just want to figure out like, what does the real authentic me look like navigating themselves through the real world? And I'm still on my way to figure that out. Yeah, so I do have a 10:30 client, and I want to get off here and not make this video too long. I just wanted to sit and ramble for, I guess, more myself than anything else. Put it out there and say where I've been is I think I've been in burnout. Like, I really just don't have the spoons to do my YouTube channel right now because on the weekend I just need to like rest. Like, I'm lucky I got up today. I slept like 9 hours because I've been having stomach problems this weekend from stress. That's another thing that definitely can happen to me. But I'm hanging in there. I have professional supports and, you know, doing the best I can using the same coping skills that I recommend to clients and just trying to get through these difficult times in COVID where we can't go anywhere. That's been another thing. I didn't get to go to Sad Summerfest. I'm going to have to sell all my concert tickets because of the mask requirement. So that's been on my mind. And I felt really bad about that because some of those concert tickets were gifts to Dave for last year before I had any idea the world was going to fall apart. And it's just been a lot to deal with. But again, I have support. I'm safe. I'm grateful for friends like Stephanie who came by, my friends Val and Sarah, Kiara, Chrissy, Jack and Liz. I have some good friends that I feel safe with. Doing better with online relationships these days because I'm just so drained and I don't want to put the mask on, the metaphorical one rather, to be in a social situation. I want to navigate the world as Jules, whoever that authentically is. And I think I'm figuring that out. And I think that's what I need to do to really affirm myself. So one of my treatment goals is affirming myself because I'm not going to get that in a lot of places in the world. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. You can give this a like if you want. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to leave video requests in the comments. You know, maybe I'll make something eventually when I have more spoons and time and energy. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, all.